Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. Let's talk about Bitcoin today. This Coin360 is not updated with the current price. Bitcoin is in the $30,000 range. And so here's what I said yesterday. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that. But here's what I said yesterday during my live streams. I went live on TikTok. I was too wiped out to go live on YouTube. Sorry about that. But I did say, yeah, I mean, all right, the CME futures gap was at $40,600, and people were asking me, could I see Bitcoin going to the 30s again? I mean, yes, because of the very high likelihood that that CME futures gap would be filled. And okay, so it's been filled. And so then, what's the difference? $600. It is a very high likelihood after that CME futures gap is filled that we would go to the $30,000 range again. But here's the thing that I said yesterday on my live streams, at least, is simply that I don't think we're going to spend as long in the $30,000 range as we did last time we went here. And the big thing that I talked about was just, all right, supply and demand. Demand cooled off a little bit when we got to the 40s. I think it's just those certain levels I've been talking about. We'll look at it on the charts, but $45,000, the 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA, all those fib levels, just the heavy resistance, the amount of time that it's going to take to break through those levels. But what we saw when we went into the 30s last time was that the demand increased really heavily. And so personally, this is not financial advice, I would encourage some buying pretty much now. Yeah, we could go down lower in the 30s. Really, all I care about is that we see a higher low. And, I kind of want to throw out this idea, be done away with this idea that we'd reach a double bottom and go back down to $32,000. Higher low. That's really all that I care about. But the thing that I've been saying that I'm seeing that's encouraging is that demand is pretty strong. It's very strong with Bitcoin in the 30s. I expect us to see something like this again. Now, this chart is not updated, and what we're seeing here is lots of red. We cooled off, so we'd probably see a little bit more orange, yellow on this chart, orange, where some people have stopped buying. Whales in particular have probably waited a little bit in the 40s just to see what happens, and now we're back in the 30s, so we'll see some orange on this chart. Back in the 30s, we'll start seeing some more red again. Shorter period of time in the 30s this time, in my opinion. So what am I seeing? What's the prognosis, the outlook? We're just in this weird spot. All right, we lost the 236. 236 isn't all that significant, but again, higher low, that's what I'm looking for here. Right now, if we were to reverse it at $39,600 something, we would form some kind of a higher low. Yeah. And so we're moving up. And I could see that being the case. Less time in the 30s than last time. But, all right, high demand in the 30s, heavy resistance above. That's kind of this rock and hard place that we're stuck between right now. And I could see us on average ranging in the lower 40s for quite a while, unfortunately. It's taken us almost two weeks, that $45,000 range, that $45,000 level that I said was going to be heavy resistance. It's taken us almost 2 weeks to try to break through that, and we haven't yet. And so once we break through there, another level to break through these fib levels, the 21-week EMA, which is going even lower, and the 20-week SMA, the 0.5, the 0.618. And so what's it going to take for us to break through? Honestly, there's two scenarios. It could just take us an equal amount of time to break through all of these levels. So 2-3 weeks to break through that $45,000 range, maybe even longer than that. 2 to 3 weeks to break through the 21-week EMA. Maybe the 21-week EMA goes down to $45,000. We break through that. Here's what I could see happening is that we get some confidence after having broke through the 21-week EMA. And so we build on that, okay? And then the 0.382 fib levels like butter, and the 0.5, there's going to be some resistance there, but it's not as difficult. So maybe as I'm processing this, maybe what happens is that the 21-week EMA does go down to about $45,000, and we finally break through that, and we're on our way. But how long is that going to take? It's going to take a few more weeks. And so here's the deal, guys. I was looking for some stuff to talk about today. I was browsing some apps that aggregate news sources, And there's somebody who I purposely don't watch his videos because people accuse me of stealing from him, and so like, even though I haven't watched a video of his in months, I still get accusations that I'm stealing content from Benjamin Cohen. But I did see an article that caught my attention, and I found that this is very much, I just like, all right, are we spirit animals? No, absolutely not. But I very strongly agree with what Benjamin Cohen is saying here, is reading this article. So analyst Benjamin Cohen updates outlook for Bitcoin, outlines best case scenario for Bitcoin this quarter. This quarter ends on March 31st. And I find myself very much in agreement with him. So in a new strategy session, Benjamin Cohen tells his 712,000 YouTube subscribers that while he's not particularly bullish on Bitcoin in the short term, he's limiting his analysis to Q1 only and not looking ahead to the rest of the year. My general outlook for Q1 is bearish for Bitcoin or neutral at best. And this is with Bitcoin in the let's say $43,000, $44,000 range. I agree with that assessment. Bearish for Bitcoin, neutral at best. I would lean more towards neutral, less towards bearish, but with plenty of scenarios that we could go back down to lower 30s. In my opinion, any Bitcoin price in the 30s is a good time to buy. It's a good buying opportunity. So seeing it at $39,000, $770 right now is, in my opinion, a point where you should nibble. So right now in the 30s, I'm bullish. I'm more bullish, or I'm more neutral than bearish, or maybe slightly bullish, but very much agree with that. Here's what he's saying here, though. The best case scenario I can imagine would be Bitcoin closing Q1 at around the place that it opened, so beginning of the year, January 1st, so around $46,000. So if this plays out, that means that we are over the 21-week EMA and that $45,000 range, which would set us up very well for Q2. But again, he's saying that's the best case scenario that he can imagine, and honestly, I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. That's best case scenario. We have about 6 weeks. 6 weeks, it's not a lot of time. 6 weeks does go by quickly. But in my opinion, yeah, best case scenario, 46,000 around that range. But if we are at $46,000, I'd be much more bullish for Q2. So I see quantitative tightening. We see a lot of macroeconomic uncertainty. We see the dollar still above its own bull market support band. That's also something that I'm paying attention to. Let's pull up the DXY here. You can see it. Look at that. It is the US dollar is just holding strong above the same moving averages, the 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA, holding strong above those levels. If we see a breakdown under this, which I do expect at some point, given the fact that inflation is where it is, then I will turn bullish for Bitcoin as well. So yeah, US dollar above its own moving averages. And here's the big thing. This is something that I've been preaching. People ask me, all right, what should I buy right now? I limit it to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also Luna, because Luna has been holding up very well, and very bullish on Luna for this year. So, or not Luna, excuse me. I mean, I'm kind of bullish for Luna. I meant Atom, Cosmos. Cosmos, not Luna. Luna is in the cosmos. The moon's in the... That's probably what I was thinking when I was saying that. But, okay. We see Bitcoin below its bull market support band. I cannot look at these conditions and say that it's the best scenario for altcoins. And the reason I say that is not to make you feel bad, but I have to be honest and say, look, this is just the way it is. Right now, altcoins, this is what I want to talk about, are very fragile when Bitcoin's below the bull market support band, potentially because of all this economic uncertainty and also the NASDAQ and the stock market. The S&P has been selling off recently. Altcoins do the best. Here we go. When Bitcoin is going sideways above its bull market support band, like in May and September of 2020, or in early 2021, or to a lesser extent, in my opinion, in later 2021. Right now is not the time to be buying a large majority of altcoins. I'd probably limit it to a handful. So I did mention Cosmos. I'm not counting Ethereum. Ethereum's doing just fine in comparison to Bitcoin. There's maybe a couple others that I would throw out there that I think will just kind of hold and not dip all that much. Maybe HBAR and maybe Crow. and Binance. I mean, Binance does okay, but other than that, I'm not touching anything with new entries. I'm not really looking to make any new entries, but this is the big thing because I know a lot of you want to be more heavily invested in altcoins. How's that worked out for you? I'm sorry to say that. You know, I've been very heavy on preaching conviction versus the quick buck. And so, yeah, man, we've got to wait. We've got to be patient with all of this. Let's wait for Bitcoin to get around at least its bull market support band and see some kind of optimist or see some kind of catalyst before diving heavy, nose diving in to all these alts. And it's really one thing that's really frustrating to me is I'm seeing a lot of my peers in this sphere still talking about how they want to load up on these altcoins. They're not giving Bitcoin or Ethereum a lick of their attention. And it's like, guys, that altcoin that you just bought that could lose 90% of its value, trust me, it can lose 90% more. Bitcoin's not going down 90% from here. Ethereum's not going down 90%. Solana's not going down 90%. But this random project that you say is going to change the world a few years down the line, it could go down 90% from here. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm aiming to make another video today, a video about a project, an NFT project that I'm very excited about. And remember, here's another thing. I think I've talked about this. There is an inverse correlation between crypto and NFTs. NFTs seem to do well when Bitcoin is under its bull market support band. So maybe there should be some attention thrown there. But otherwise, have a great weekend. I will see you in another video. Peace.